This is normally the part of the video where I would tell you that we're going to go ahead and get into some of the good news before we get to the bad news, but in regards to modern day Tomb Raider and especially Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider, it's just really all bad news because, hey, for as much as long-suffering Lara Croft fans have been over recent years, on the video game front, things have been alright, okay, because you've got two relatively successful and somewhat faithful, a couple of bugs and glitches, and I'm sure it was all accidental omissions and censorships aside. You got the, what was it, 1, 2, and 3, and then just recently, I think earlier this year, 4, 5, and 6 dropped as two separate game bundles, and people were relatively happy with, I remember, 1, 2, and 3, but I didn't really hear much about 4, 5, and 6, but everything was all fine because you didn't have to deal with modern Tomb Raider. You didn't have to deal with the whole post-reboot stuff because I remember playing the first game and found it exceptionally fun when it launched on, I got it on the Xbox 360 because, well, you had Uncharted on PS3 and, well, those are old wounds and we don't need to go ahead and dig that stuff up. But what was it that came after that? Rise of the Tomb Raider? I don't even think I got out of the introductory level. It was just... No, I got to the first tomb, actually, when I gave it a second chance, and yeah, it still didn't really grab me like that, and then by the time 2018 rolled around and Shadow of the Tomb Raider hit, I think everybody was pretty much done with that little series, and nobody really wanted to see it continued until now, apparently, because Crystal Dynamics update hints a Shadow of the Tomb Raider sequel, because that's what everybody wants, right? That's what we want. We want more Tomb Raider games, and we want a continuation of that storyline where... yeah, everybody thought that was long dormant and nobody was really pining for something that is already 7 years in the making. But okay, it's been nearly 7 years since Shadow of the Tomb Raider came out, and it seems like the franchise may finally be gearing up for a long-awaited return. Not really. A recent job listing for Crystal Dynamics suggests that the development on the next Tomb Raider is in its late stages. While nothing has been formally confirmed, yeah, we literally haven't heard anything outside of just Crystal Dynamics, just wanting to put a stupid trigger warning ahead of the remasters, but I guess they're going to have to do something, right? If we're to believe that the new clues, it would mean that the studio is going to reveal the project in the coming months. Yeah, maybe Summer Games Fest. It's possible, right? That's at the end of the week. Could hear something about that. On May 17th, 2025, Crystal Dynamics posted a job listing for a senior level designer, which user something is not white. Okay, caught. That's an interesting username on Reddit. A listing called for a senior level designer to spearhead strike teams and the design levels with the compelling puzzle elements using Unreal Engine. Late stage development, if you're doing level design, bruh, come on now. What's gotten our attention is the fact that the studio needs someone experienced in puzzle design, but the specific mention to lead a strike team. In game development terms, strike teams are typically used in the final stages of production, often to polish bugs or finalize gameplay elements. Yeah, that totally makes sense, but Amy Hennig, once again, one of my favorite creatives in all of gaming. Back when Naughty Dog was a studio worth lionizing, yeah, she was a big reason because of that, okay? She worked on, the Uncharted games, which were... it's so funny, that life cycle and that discussion. I guess we are going to be going back to that, but... how Nathan Drake was seen as a ripoff of Lara Croft, and then when they did the reboot, she was ostensibly ripping off Nathan Drake. It's so funny how that all ended up coming full circle, but yeah, Amy Hennig, how about a C-cup on making a crucial change to Uncharted that stood up against the likes of, well, yeah, Tomb Raider, exactly. I'd imagine that it's probably for Chloe. God damn it, man, I still remember that introductory scene in Uncharted 2. That was what a great game for a multitude of reasons, and yeah, those suggestions came from Amy Hennig. But who's working on the Tomb Raider games? The same asshole who thinks that a British woman going into a bunch of different tombs and being a badass needs to be preceded by a trigger warning. Ugh, stop me. But hey, man, at least the remake was somewhat fun to play. Like, I understand that it ended up getting long in the tooth, and then by the time Shadow of the Tomb Raider came around, like, nobody really likes that game or even speaks fondly about it. But potentially, yeah, if you've had 7 years to develop something, because I know, hey, man, other long regarded franchises that have extended development times, they always end up producing really high quality installments into these franchises, right? Dragon Age, looking directly at you. Yeah, no, this definitely couldn't be a gigantic failure. We're just waiting for a place to happen. But you might get something worthwhile because you take a look at everything else that has come out in regards to Tomb Raider. And bro, does anybody remember last year there was an animated Tomb Raider series? Yeah, exactly. What an abomination that was, even if you can remember it. But yeah, this potential announcement of a new Tomb Raider game might end up serving as the best news we get for Tomb Raider in 2025, because the Tomb Raider producer Story Kitchen renews the first look TV deal at Amazon MGM Studios. Remember how we talked about this and not that long ago that Phoebe Waller-Bridge, after Jennifer Salke ended up getting shit canned, and her Phoebe Waller-Bridge's deal ended up getting rejiggered, and not really hearing a lot about the Tomb Raider series. Well, apparently the reports of its demise have been greatly over-exaggerated. Story Kitchen has renewed its first look television deal with MGM Studios, Variety has learned exclusively. Formerly a DJ2 Entertainment, Story Kitchen is currently producing the Tomb Raider live-action TV series in the works at Amazon from creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Oh, Jesus Christ. The company specializes in adaptation of video games and other non-traditional IPs into television and film. And oh boy, in case you're not familiar with these guys, they have quite the impeccable track record. I'm joking, of course. We are beyond thrilled to continue our incredible journey with our friends, fellow gamers, and partners at MGM Studios. Story Kitchen's Dimitri M. Johnson, Mike Goldberg, and Timothy I. Stevenson claimed, we look forward to continuing our collective goals of telling great stories based on best-in-class games. Story Kitchen was founded in 2022 by Sonic the Hedgehog producer Dimitri M. Johnson, producer on the first Sonic film. That's it, nothing else. Veteran production executives Timothy I. Stevenson and Dan Jevons, and creative executive Elena Sandoval. Along with their work on Tomb Raider, Story Kitchen is currently working on with Amazon to develop a film adaptation for Toe Jam and Earl. Holy shit. A fucking Sega Genesis game. You're going to be spinning that out? Brother. With Stephen Curry. Or Stephen Curry? Wait, what? That one? As well as an adaptation of the hit game It Takes Two. Oh, Jesus, with Dwayne Johnson's $7 Productions co-producing. So you got a production team overseeing other production teams doing video game adaptations. Yeah, way to go, Amazon. You're just wasting more money that's out there. But yeah, the big news is that, the Phoebe Waller-Bridge live-action TV series, it lives to breathe another day, which coincides with, oh my God, the most abominable actress from Game of Thrones. I don't think that there's anybody worse. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Daenerys, and Emilia Clarke I think is more wooden than the spear Theon got stabbed with by the Night King, but she pales in comparison to the lack of range that Sophie Turner has, and the fact that she got tabbed, or there was a rumor out there that she was going to be Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Lara Croft, and everybody collectively just rolled their eyes so hard. Nearly got her fired from Amazon, but Tomb Raider series not canceled. Sophie Turner jacked as Lara Croft, which this is just, it's... Like, man, what are we doing out here, okay? A live-action Tomb Raider series at Amazon might still be happening, as images have surfaced of Sophie Turner, who is in super shape, possibly jacked and ripped for her role as Lara Croft, which... there's two things that immediately comes to mind when I think of a proper depiction and an adaptation of Lara Croft. But having a single-digit body fat percentage isn't necessarily one of those things. I'm just saying. Two different reports have said that the Tomb Raider series isn't happening and is being developed by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. However, following Amazon firing Jennifer Salke as head of the studio, a report surfaced that Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Tomb Raider series is dead, and apparently not, because Sophie Turner, and this is totally unrelated, okay? Like, there's no direct connections between her posting an image to Instagram and any life to this Tomb Raider series, but as you can see here, she is in, I don't know, drunken phenomenal shape, because there's nowhere that this bitch can ever be photographed without her having alcohol in her hands. But yeah, she's in a very ripped shape, but still doesn't really look an awful lot like Lara Croft. Okay, because there you have Lara. What is that, an Underground or one of the Xbox 360 PS3 era games? But even still, you take a look at her right there, okay? And Sophie, very shredded, okay? Very good shape. Better shape than she has been in for, the past couple of years, when she was, going through in a very contentious and bitchy divorce with one of the Jonas brothers. I remember covering that story and just, hating Sansa even more than that. But she doesn't really pass the smell test in regards to Lara, and no, I wouldn't want to smell that drunken whore, and even compare Lara crawling out of one of those fucking Amazonian tombs. But Sophie Turner is said to have been cast in the titular role as Lara Croft, the actress, who was known as playing Sansa Stark, and she was Jean Grey. Nobody wants to remember that, but that was unfortunately something that did happen. She fucked up the second interpretation of the Dark Phoenix saga. Holy shit. But Sophie Turner is also said to be involved in 2 other upcoming projects. Okay, The Dreadful. Are you just talking about her talent? Oh no, is said to also be in production, about following Turner as Anne, the mother-in-law of Morin, who lives in solitary, harsh life in the outskirts of society. Oh, Kit Harington also stars that. Oh, right. Also, you get a little bit more of a Game of Thrones reunion of 2 washouts who didn't have a career after that fucking show fizzled out. Turner is also said to be in pre-production on a sci-fi movie, Cloud One. Oh, about a man who wakes up with amnesia and is placed in a virtual reality rehab center where he falls for a virtual woman. Oh, okay, cool. So she can really show off her range in that respect. Man, I haven't even heard, I don't think anybody's even heard Sophie Turner talk about this role at all whatsoever, or other than her just simply posting, I guess, pool selfies that I'm sure, Game of Thrones money is paying for, and not Jonas Brothers money. I'm sure 100%, right? Weren't you, super concerned about, the welfare of your kids, wanting to take them over to the UK to get them schooled over there? But there you are, posing in a bikini, showing off your abs with a, glass of white wine, I guess, yeah. Do what you're best at, right? But I've never heard her talk about video games. Never even heard her specifically talk about Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, either the games or the other movie adaptations or any of the other adaptations before. And if she was some phenomenal talent in Hollywood, I would be able to, look the other way and go, well, it's not exactly a faithful adaptation, but, hey, she might be able to pull a decent performance. But no, I've seen her act before. She's horrific. This is going to be yet another blight on the franchise. Meanwhile, there's somebody that's out there who would be perfect for the role, and if you wanted to do this long-running TV series, I mean, she's young enough for the part and definitely attractive and very talented enough for the role. I idolize characters like her. Breakout and/or actress wants to play Lara Croft amid new Tomb Raider rumors. I mean, the chick that played Clea, she was phenomenal given the fact that A, she had to act opposite of Stellan Skarsgård, arguably a top 5 working actors right now, and oh yeah, that was her first role out of a drama school, okay, and she was absolutely phenomenal in said role. She's talking glowingly about playing the sheer potential of playing Lara Croft, and honestly, that picture isn't really doing her any benefits, but hey, she's got the right eye color and the right hair color, but she's also, I get this is all subjective, but far more attractive than Sophie Turner. Probably has a lower resting blood alcohol level as well, so we can go with that. Andor has unfortunately come to an end. Oh, to be still my aching heart. But the market is left on Star Wars and TV as a whole. Will be felt for years to come, partly because it has introduced the world to, yes, Elizabeth Dulau. Dulau played Clea on the show, and the whole post-Andor career still ahead of her. Yes, the actress has revealed that her dream is to one day portray Lara Croft in a Tomb Raider project. Bro, just literally do it. I know that she's lacking 2 appreciable assets, rather. But otherwise, if you want to tell a good story, she's excellent for the role. Dulau spoke with Town and Country House, okay, about all things Andor, revealing that she wasn't much of a Star Wars fan before being cast as Clea. Don't hold that against her. That sounds like she's all caught up now. Wow, imagine that. You get cast for a role, and it's like, okay, don't quite know all about the source material, but I'll learn about it. Good for her. I don't even know if Sansa went back and read the fucking books before she started wittingly acting. And no. Just because she was a kid when she was first cast, okay? You gotta also look at everything post season 4 and realize that, holy shit, she did not develop at all whatsoever. But yes, when asked what else she'd like to do in her career, Dulau went immediately to action hero, quickly pinpointing Lara Croft as her dream role. Oh man, this is exactly like David Cornsweet, the upcoming Superman, just, nerding out about wanting to play a Jedi. It's actually, the flip reverse of this situation, but that was the most endearing thing that he has done, and it wasn't even promoting Superman. What a borked marketing cycle for that, but we still have plenty of time to talk about James Gunn's vanity project. But a dream role would actually be some sort of an action hero, someone like Lara Croft. Dulau said, I idolized characters like her and Indiana Jones as a kid, running around the house fighting imaginary bad guys. Seeing a female character be that undeniably cool, clever, and physically capable was so inspiring to me as a kid, and my whole life would really come full circle if I ever got the chance to be that to other kids. Oh man, see, that's like kind of a noble aspiration. That's not, I want to do this because I want to represent the need for more women in action. No. She's seen cool things and she wants to continue that tradition. Good for her. That presumably means at some point in Delau's life, at least, that she was a gamer. Unless she knows of Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider movies. That's possible, but I hope not, because they're not great. Delau does mention one other game during the interview, although it's technically referencing the adaptation The Last of Us. Oh, I had such a better opinion of you before this, but okay. So Delau noted how excited she was for season 2. Oh no! I got news for you. It's not great. Which has been running in tandem with Andor's second season. Yeah, it's so funny, right? How one ended and people are still talking glowingly about it even weeks later. And just recently, The Last of Us season 2 wrapped up, and people are going, "Oh, you're actually going to do a third season? Oh, and it's all going to be about Abby. Oh, great." Meanwhile, if anybody said, "Oh yeah, there's going to be a third season of Andor, and it's going to be following, I don't know, Cyril's mom," who would definitely be excited for that. But anything else that's not going to be Tony Gilroy's take on Star Wars, and if we hear that Elizabeth Delau is going to be coming back, we're going to be seeing, Clea as some hardened rebel veteran. Oh God, we're just going to have to brace for the worst. It's kind of like, hey, come in full circle on this one. Here in Crystal Dynamics, Amazon, Phoebe Waller-Bridge doing anything with Lara Croft. You just have to hope for the best, expect the worst, and brace for how bad it'll ultimately be. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.